Hi there, my name is Steve Gerhardt and this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching this week's video. Normally I have these things planned out. I know what I want to talk about. I've watched the anime, read the book, read the manga, played the game, whatever it is that I want to do that I want to talk about. And I decided that I just wanted to talk about stuff. So this week is just going to be about rando stuff. Now, I'll have the titles for each section down below, and timestamp them so that in case you're you don't want to hear about me talking about Kaiju, maybe you can skip over that to the next thing, which might be about the 2 or 3 treasures I got this week, or whatever I decide to talk about. So anyway, yeah. So let me start my ramblings. So, yeah, I mentioned maybe talking about Kaiju, so we're going to talk about Kaiju here for a couple minutes. And it's something that I rediscovered for myself. As a kid, back in the day, Sunday mornings, Saturday mornings, if I'm not watching cartoons, I'm probably watching some type of movie, kind of like an Abbott Costello meets Frankenstein, or a Tarzan movie or whatever. And invariably, there would be some type of Kaiju movie. Now, at that time, when I was a kid, I didn't know what the term Kaiju meant or anything like that. I didn't know that term existed. I just knew that it was Godzilla, King Kong, and all these other big monster movie kind of things. And as a kid, you watch these movies and they're a lot of fun, and you're just like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And then you grow up and you kind of move on from those kinds of things. And every now and again, a Kaiju movie will show up and I'll be like, okay, I'll give it a watch, and I find myself enjoying it. Nothing like, oh my god, Kaiju all the way, but just kind of like, nostalgia kind of fun. So there was a video that I did about Atomic Books here in Baltimore, and I kind of got a grab bag of all these different things. And one of the things that I got was a fan magazine, and of course the title, and I've shown this before, I'll show it again, World's Longest Running Fanzine, and it's called G-Fan. Okay, so you get an idea. This is kind of like a quarterly thing, so this is the summer edition. I missed the fall edition. But anyway, so, this magazine has a lot of stuff, just kind of like, like the Fangora used to have and things like that, where you can, look in here and read about people behind the scenes, little interviews, photos, old stock, picture like Reptilicus, which I'll talk about in a moment. Things like that. It just turned out to be kind of really, really interesting. Really interesting stuff. I mean, take a look at that, right? And it's just, I've known about it. I've known that, it's guys in suits more or less, and puppetry, and, just special effects of the 60s and 70s, which made it cheesy, but also wonderfully good in a certain way. And but you get this more of this knowledge, and you get this more of this information, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, going, I'm absurdly getting into this. And the reason why I knew I was absurdly getting into it was because I actually joined a Facebook page. I think it is called Godzilla or something like that, but they talk about all manner of kaiju. So every day I get these things, these pictures, interesting pictures of guys who don the Godzilla suit, but the top half is taken off and he's smoking a cigarette, things like that. So really, really kind of interesting things. And I kind of remember the last kaiju movie that I watched. It actually was a Riff Tracks movie. So they did a Riff Tracks off of Reptilicus, which is actually a Danish kaiju movie. And I remember enjoying it not only because it's Riff Tracks and it's hilarious as heck, but actually just kind of enjoying the movie. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe, maybe I should start watching these things again and actually pay a little bit more attention and, maybe read up on some of these things and kind of get a little bit more into it and just, see what that world is like. It's, I'm finding myself very, very interested. What do you think? Do you guys watch Kaiju? Do you what, if you do, what is your favorite Kaiju movie? Is it Godzilla? Is it the 1930 stop motion King Kong movie, which was amazing, which is actually one of my favorite movies of all time, for a variety of reasons? Are you into the special effects behind it? Because the special effects are, I know they look cheesy on the screen, but when you stop and look at what they're doing, the models and all these things that they're trying to do with the technology that they have at that time, keep in mind, this is not like Skywalker Ranch or anything like, like Star Wars, where they actually created their own sound studio. These are people just like, hammering literally things together to make the thing happen. So, it's just so interesting. It's so interesting. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. But, again, your favorite kaiju movie, your favorite kaiju in particular. Is there a comic book you like? Because I actually, in my comic book collection, I think I actually have a Marvel Godzilla comic somewhere. What do you think is the worst kaiju movie? What do you think is kind of dippy or whatever? So anyway, yeah. So I think maybe I should start looking into this a little bit more. So I'm kind of looking forward into my journey of kaiju. And for those of you who are more experienced with kaiju stuff, and this is actually your gig, this is your jam kind of thing, if you could give me some pointers down below in the comments, that would be really awesome. Thank you. Okay, so just a kind of just a thing to let you know about. I made yet another new YouTube channel. It's called UnagiSteve. The link will be down below. I've got 3 videos up already. It's kind of just a mishmash of weird things that I'm doing. Just these are videos that are just, they don't really mean anything. They're just fun to do. They're esoteric. They're, they can be weird. They can be fun. They can be whatever. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like, for example, I have 2 Genshin Impact videos on there. One of them is using the character official for just hunting and gathering, those kinds of resources. And another video, official again, but I'm calling it the Mondstadt Mafia, where she puts the Lain on Timmy, who feeds the pigeons outside the castle gates. And you're gonna have to watch it to know more. It's a short video. I also have some concert footage from a concert I went to a couple months ago, or more than a couple months ago, back in August. It was The Damned and a punk band that I love immensely, and Blondie of all things, Call Me, that band. And so we're just gonna put some just weird things up there, just to throw up there. It's not really meant to be a moneymaker or anything like that. This is just me being creative or stupid, however you want to interpret it. So again, it's called UnagiSteve, and the link will be down below. Please check it out from time to time. There's no schedule of when videos are uploaded. They're just when I do them and I feel like uploading them. So just check on it from time to time, and that would be awesome. Another thing that I would like to talk about a little bit more is that when I do videos for the Unagi Observer, I have links down below to cytube and Spotify sometimes. The Spotify playlists again are just kind of like when I make them and then I put them up, and I try to keep the most recent one link up until I make a new one. And the cytube, I try to do it weekly. Don't always do it weekly, but put in some anime or binge watch a certain anime on SciTube in case you want to happen to watch something different than what's on Crunchyroll. So yeah, if you want to check those things out, please do, and offer me some feedback on the SciTube stuff. Like what kind of anime do you want to see that I would be able to post there? Because that's the other part of it is that sometimes I'll find a really nice, fun anime and I think people would be interested in, only to have that like little screen that says, blocked in the following countries, and it's like 38 countries, and it's kind of like, So let me know what you think. Let me know what you would like to watch, and I'll try to put stuff there. But again, remember, UnagiSteve, link down below. Looking forward to your comments on there. Please don't troll me. Just be nice, okay? Thank you. All right, next topic. All right, let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Let's talk about Otakon. for those of you who are familiar with the channel, I am a big supporter of Otakon for many, many years. I started in 2004. The last one I went to before 2022 was in 2017, the first year in the new convention center in Washington, D.C. And as people would know, up until 2022, I was a big supporter, still am a supporter, but not as big anymore, of Otakon. And it took me 5 years to get back to Otakon from 2017. You know, it's one of those things where life just sometimes gets in the way, and then there was COVID and blah, 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 blah. Finally got back, excited to be at Otakon. I actually had a group of new friends to go with, and did not have a good time. I have a video that I talked about it. If you want to watch that, that's fine. I'm not going to rehash all the talking points in there. That video is also me being kind of angry and upset. A little bit more calm now that time has passed. But the overall feeling and points that I've made, I still have. And so since then, my friends and I have talked off and on about Otakon, and we just kind of look at things. And I haven't been really active on the website because I actually do get the newsletter in my email, and I am part of the Facebook group, so I get a lot of stuff that way. So I don't really go onto the website that much. Before making this video, I did take a quick look around to see if there was anything that I missed that maybe that they were talking about that they are going to address the issues that had happened during 2022. And one of the things that I want to talk about is that they had they made a record and they hit 42,000. I believe it's 42,000 was the number of con attendees at Otakon, and that is actually good in a certain way, and I'm glad that Otakon has such a big appeal, and I hope that in the future that Otakon will actually be competent enough to actually hold a convention that can garner 42,000 people, because it was a disaster. Not only was it a disaster, but it was very unsafe. There were for me personally, there were two moments where we could have had that, you know, that horrible event that happened in South Korea where all those people got crushed, and, you know, just a spontaneous whatever rush to somewhere and people got trampled and all that stuff. There were two moments at Otakon where that could have happened, that I experienced. And when I was looking at the BBS board, there were actually a couple people who had that same feeling, that were just kind of like, okay, I need to be in a space where I need to be able to get out because this looks dangerous. And to see that the person who is writing this, or the persons who are writing this, are much younger than I am, speaks volumes, because it means that even people who aren't used to conventions know that something was not right. There were elements of, we saw police, convention staff, and Otakon staff huddled together talking on Saturday night, I think around 9 o'clock. And we saw, you know, ambulance lights continuously outside during the course of the day, and the line was still going around even as the convention was wrapping itself up. There were still lines out there, and it was just really, really bad. So, you know, the convention is over. I'm going to stop talking about those particular points in particular. Again, you can watch the video that I made if you want to. You can go on BBS boards and you can see people talking about it. You can go onto the Facebook site and seeing the concerns that some people had about all this stuff. And as I'm talking about Otakon now with my friends, you know, one of my friends brought up the fact that he goes, you know, it's a new leadership. We knew that the old leadership, the people who created Otakon, were slowly phasing themselves out so that the new people can come in to continue to the Otakon, because, you know, they've been doing it since forever, right? And you can't keep doing the thing forever, and, you know, people's lives take them into different areas of the world and so forth and so on. So and honestly, change is good. you want change. You don't want things to be stagnant. You don't want to have the same old thing over and over and over and over again, because it does get old, and after a while you're like, man, I don't care anymore. So for those of us who were like, attending Otakon during the 2000s and 2010s, like me, we have a great period of time that we enjoyed the convention. It had its hiccups and things like that, and it was fine. But, there was a lot of good memories there. But now it's, we move on, and there's new leadership. And, change, like I say, change is good as long as you can affect that change effectively. Didn't come out right. But anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. And so I'm not opposed to the change. Like, I'm not opposed to the idea of thinking of Otakon as a new convention now, right? Different than it used to be. So now it's something new moving forward, and I'm excited about that. I enjoy the idea of that, and I hope that is pulled off. I have reservations still. I'm looking at the website, I'm looking at the newsletter, and I'm looking at the Facebook site, and I don't really see that the leadership is communicating to the congoers that they are addressing the issues. They very well may be addressing very important issues. They just don't feel ready to talk about it just yet. And if that is the case, awesome, good, as long as we understand, as long as we know, the congoers know what you're thinking out there in Otakon land, in Otakor, great, please let us know what you're doing. Because all I'm seeing is, oh yes, we know that there were some problems with the lines, and we're going to address those issues. And that's literally all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing about how there was a crowd of people, a few thousand strong, storming down the escalator at around between 8 and 9 o'clock, when all the rooms did a room clear so they could do the adult programming at 9 o'clock, 9:30 o'clock, and you have all these underage kids trying to figure out where to go. And having seen that, having been in the dealer's room watching 3,000 people try to go up 2 flights of stairs, that was scary. I didn't enjoy doing that, I can tell you that. So, I don't see that being addressed. I don't see the type of programming being addressed. I don't see basically organization being addressed. I had the misfortune of seeing con ops in disarray. Don't see anybody talking about that from Otakon. So there's a lot of things that I'm just not seeing, and I think really do need to be addressed. And we need to know that they're taking it seriously, and that they are aware of the problems. Maybe they don't want to tell us how they're discussing, or what their problem solving method is, or what they're thinking about doing in the future. And that's actually fine and good, because you don't want to present something until you're ready. But just let us know that you are taking these issues seriously, because I'm not inclined to come back in 2023, which is a shame, because I'm a big train fan, and apparently the theme's going to be about trains, and which is really a shame, because I would really love to do that. But if you can't guarantee me that you can handle the 42,000 crowd, which, to be perfectly honest, I don't think you could, I think Otakon needs to put a cap on things, on attendance. As weird as that sounds, I want Otakon to be able to, if they're aiming for 42,000 people, they need to be able to pull off a con that will accommodate 42,000 people. It's not about getting butts through the door. Sorry, I live in the city. It's not about getting butts through the door. It's about butts getting through the door and enjoying themselves. So we're not in a race of being the biggest con on the East Coast. We don't care about that. We want quality. So I'm not seeing any of that, and I've got big concerns about that. I'm not going to say I'm 100% not going to Otakon 2023, but I'm pegging it at 98% right now, because I just don't see the leadership making any efforts to even address the issue. So I'm kind of hesitant to lay down money, taking time off from my job to go see this thing that's going to suck again, because I'll be honest, while I did enjoy certain elements of 2022, overall it was not a good time for me, and I felt I wasted time and money, which is a feeling I've never had with Otakon before. I don't want to go through that again. The other part of this is also seeing things online where they say, oh, well, the Washington Convention Center can fit up to 65,000 people. No, actually it can't. The hotels, in addition to the convention centers, can do that. But the convention center itself cannot. And the problem that happened at the con in 2022 did not happen in the hotels because there was very little that anybody was interested in going on in the hotels. Everyone stayed inside the convention center. To pass that buck on, or to try to, I don't know what they were thinking by putting that little factoid out there without any context. I mean, that's something that any one of us can look up. Again, the city, my apologies. I don't think they're coming after me. No, they're going away. They're not coming after me. Okay, great. So I have great reservations for Otakon. I want the best for Otakon. I want Otakon to succeed. I do actually want Otakon to be at 45,000. I would love to see Otakon in 5 years from now being able to hit that benchmark. That would be awesome. As long as you can do it. If you can't do it, don't do it. Make a convention that you can do so that people enjoy it. And that's the whole freaking point. All right. We've got enough of being a Debbie Downer. Let's go on to the next topic. Okay, I want to talk about this channel, the Unagi Observer. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this. I know it's cliche where it's, oh, thank you. If it wasn't for you, blah, 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 you know, all that stuff. I'll tell you what really got me jazzed this season was the fact that I had so many more people putting comments to my videos, whether they be the current season or past seasons or whatever. This has been the most I've gotten comment-wise in, I think, actually the whole time I've been doing this channel. And that is great for me, and I love it. I love the constructive criticism. I love the questions. I love the attaboys. Who doesn't like an attaboy, right? And I just love the tone of the comments that I'm getting. You know, like sometimes I'll get a comment going, "Oh yeah, I remember this. This thing was great," or people going, "Oh yeah, I saw that," and then sometimes that spawns a conversation, and that's great. That's what I want. That's what I want for this channel. This channel, for those of you who don't know, this is a labor of love. I don't get any money out of this. I don't get paid for this. I don't have any income deriving from this. I have no sponsors. Labor of love. That's what I do. I do this because I like doing it and it's fun for me to do. And when I get that sort of bump, if you will, from people commenting and saying things and getting involved, you know, it makes me want to do it more. So thank you for all your comments. The criticisms, the ever so helpful criticisms I get from you guys, and you're really gentle about it. I don't think I've been trolled in like ages, and you guys are just really, really good with the criticisms. I've changed some things because of you guys, so thank you. Keep it up, and I'm just enjoying it. And even the ones that I get where I don't know the language and I have to do an interpretive check on it. And it's just great to have that, as well as people outside the country or non-English speaking countries commenting. That's always fun. I just marvel at those kinds of things. So thank you. It means the world to me, literally. So for those of you who don't know, who might be new to the channel, we're heading towards the end of the season. My season usually runs end of February, beginning of March through the end of December. So once New Year's happens, the season ends. And then we go through a period where I take some time for myself, because, you know, I do this, I try to put up a video every week, once a week. Obviously, if I'm going on a trip somewhere or something happens, then, you know, it doesn't happen. But generally speaking, I have over 40 videos that I put up in the season. And so January and most of February is a time where I kind of take it easy. I don't worry about production values that much, and I just kind of put up whatever. Things that are relevant to the channel still, but they're just kind of like whatever. Maybe I saw something funny and want to share it, or maybe I make an AMV, or maybe I'll just have a commentary on something that I saw. Little tiny things that I upload here and there, so just to keep people, knowing that the channel's still going, and that I haven't dropped off the face of the earth. I did that one year where I just didn't put any videos on, and I lost like so many people because they're like, "Oh, I guess he stopped doing it." So once January 1st hits, know that there will still be videos being uploaded. They're just gonna be small, fun little kinds of things, so that I can take a rest and recharge, and then go into the next season. January, for a little while there, was also a time for me to go to a convention called Animore, and unfortunately Animore no longer exists, sad to say. So I've been trying to figure out what to do to fill out my time in that, and in 2019 I decided, you know what, maybe this is the year of conventions, that I'm going to go out to all these different conventions, large and small, and talk about them during the course of the season. And then COVID happened, and that just put the kibosh on everything. Well, I kind of want to get back to that idea. It's not going to be as grandiose as I had originally. I'm not going to be able to go to that many conventions, but there's a listing of ones that I definitely want to get to. One of them was, now that we can actually, things are opening up and the conventions are saying, hey, come back in, please come back. I want to go. I want to support it. And so, in 2021, yes, I went to Gen Con for the first time. And for those of you who have never been to Gen Con, it is amazing. It was so much fun. I had a really good time. But it's in Indiana. So that's going to probably be my big convention I go to this year in 2023. Yeah, I know. They're looking for me. I'm telling you, they're looking for me. Anyway, but that's the big convention I want to go to, because I'm going to actually have to, pay money for the plane ticket, the Airbnb, blah, 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 blah. But it's such a fun convention that it is worth the cost. So that means I'm going to be going to, I am hoping, a larger number of smaller conventions. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to getting back to Baltimore Comic-Con. It's a really small affair, but for those of us who like to, dig through our collection, go, oh, I need number 328 of Thor, or Batman number 522, or whatever it is. It's fun to go out there and try and find these things, and encounter people, and encounter people with similar interests, and just kind of cool stuff happens at Comic-Con. So even the Baltimore Comic-Con, which is really tiny. I also want to go to other smaller anime conventions like Animore, because they're fun in a very, very tiny way, and it's hard to explain, and I hope to get to them so I can show them to you, and you can get the idea of what I'm trying to say about them. So yeah, another one I'm trying to get to is going to be Baltimore Sci-Fi Convention, which is more about writers and things like that, and I want to get to that. You get the idea. I'm going to do more conventions this year because we can. Anyway, so just to recap real quick, I'm going to talk about the channel off and on over the next 2 to 3 weeks before the month ends, and just prepare you all, just saying, okay, January is just going to be come back and check for videos, and there'll be new stuff periodically, but it's my interlude. Yeah, and hopefully you guys will continue to support me with your comments and watching the videos, and give me the likes and all that good stuff. Another thing that I want to talk about the channel is that I haven't quite decided exactly if I want to put a theme or not for next year. I've been doing a very big tent kind of thing of sci-fi, gaming, anime, mostly anime, all that kind of stuff. So if you have an idea of a theme that can encompass all those genres, let me know down below. Let me know, because I'm really eager to hear what you would like, where you would like to see the channel go in. So yeah, so that's, I'm going to stop talking about the channel because I think I've been rambling on long enough. And I'm going to go on to the last section about the treasure I got this week. So thank you for enduring my ramblings on this rando conversation of a video. I want to end it on a kind of a little bit of a fun note. It's not going to take too long here, but I want to share some treasure that I got this week. So not all grocery stores carry Pocky or the equivalent of Pocky. Sometimes you can't find it for some reason in Baltimore. So some of the grocery stores that I go to a lot because they have the most things that I need sometimes don't have Pocky. So imagine my surprise when they actually did have Pocky, and they had some interesting flavors. One of which I don't think I've had it in this before. No, I don't think I have. And another one I have had. And so let's go start with that one. So the first one in the beautiful packaging called Pocky Chocolate Almond Crush. Chocolate cream covered biscuit sticks, artificially flavored, made with real almonds. You figure it out. Does that not look good or what? I am going to so enjoy this, right? I mean, look at the packaging. Packaging is all, jazzy and whatnot. I mean, that's gonna be delicious, don't you think? So here's one that, we've all had strawberry Pocky, right? We have strawberry Pocky, but have you had crunchy strawberry Pocky? Ooh, crunchy. I don't know if this is a new flavor or not, but it looks interesting, and I cannot wait to try it. I've always enjoyed strawberry Pocky, so ooh, this is gonna be good stuff. So that's my Pocky treasure. Really happy to get it, and it was reasonably priced because with inflation these days they sometimes creep up in the price range, and I'm just like, I don't think I want to spend that much. So another thing, the last big treasure that I got this week. So as a kid, we would get these things in December when we would go to Chinese takeout, to a Chinese restaurant or to Chinese takeout. My older sister and I do have a younger sister, but she hadn't been born yet. And we would get these things, and they would give it to us all the time. So we would have a ton of these things in December, and we would just play with them. My parents would keep one or two for their own, for the fridge or for the wall, whatever. And my sister and I would have the others, and we just make things out of them, whatever, or play with them somehow. Anyway, but I have really good nostalgic memories of having these things, and for the first time in decades, I went to. I actually found one of these, and I was able to get one. And near my work is this place called Ding Hao, and it's a wonderful little Chinese takeout place. And I'm horrible. I get the same thing all the time, and I really should change it up because everything I've gotten there has been good so far. But this past time I went in, and they had a box there, and inside the box they had the thing from my childhood, and I'm like, oh, I want that. And so the nice lady there just kind of laughed at me because she saw me, my eyes light up, and I'm just like suddenly I'm a kid again. And so I got the thing. So I'm going to have to cover part of it because it gives away. Isn't that a beautiful box? Right? Look at that. If you can read Chinese, then you know what this is. But just kind of take a look at this. I mean, the box itself is really very pretty, isn't it? So, anyway, if you haven't figured that out by now, you're gonna know. You're gonna know pretty soon. So I got one of these, and I'm so happy with it, and that I got it because I actually saw it hanging there. So now I have one to hang in my apartment because I'm not gonna play with it like a toy because I'm not that age again. But yes, a calendar. Look at that calendar. Is that beautiful or what? And it's got the signs. Look at that. It's got the signs on there. Look at that crane. And it's the 2023 calendar, wall calendar. Is that not cool or what? I know it's the small things that amuse me, but this is really nice. Well, for me, it's really nice. And I'm so glad I got it. I'm so happy. You could get me like a piece of chocolate and I'll be gushing about it. But I'm just really happy about this. So this is the treasure I got this week. And yeah. So yeah, that's it for this week, and thank you again for dealing with my ramblings. And I hope this was informative and it was interesting to you. As usual, give me some comments down below. Everything will be timestamped down there, and so if you just want to skip stuff, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I'll see you guys next week. You guys have a good one. Stay healthy. Love you guys, and yeah, watch some more anime.